Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. Hope you had a great week. This week's video is dedicated as a refuah shlema to Nechama Bas Chai Rivka. Get well quick. In this week's parsha, we read about the unfortunate incident of the Jewish people and the golden calf. And in this week's Haftarah, the Haftarah chooses to highlight that part of the parsha. And at a different time in history, during the times of Eliyahu, Navi, Elijah, the prophet, in which the Jewish people, the kingdom of Israel, not the kingdom of Judah and Israel had split at this time. There was the wicked king Achav, and at that time, he convinced everybody over there to worship the god named Baal or Asherah, and unfortunately, that's what happened. And there was a fight between Eliyahu, Navi, Elijah, and Achav. And Achav was making fun of Hashem, and Elijah said, guess what? There's not going to be any rain for the next 3 years. And that's what happened. 3 years passed, and Hashem finally told Eliyahu Navi that he should go and claim that there was going to be rain again. But he wanted to do it in a very showy way in order to ascribe honor to Hashem. So what did he do? He told Achav to tell all the people to come to Har Carmel, to Mount Carmel, and over there he was going to undergo a test. All the people that serve the Baal, they had to come as well, and they would both offer a sacrifice to Hashem. Elijah would take a bull, and they would take a bull, and they would go first, and they would do whatever they would want. And the one that would bring down fire to their sacrifice, that would prove who actually had the power and who didn't have the power. So these people, they were willing for a test, even though they were kind of nervous, but they had no choice. They claimed that their Baal was a god, and what they do, they built a sacrifice, an altar, put the sacrifice on top. There was actually a man named Chil who told them, guys, don't worry, I'll hide on the inside of the altar, and when you guys start calling out to God's name, to the Baal's name, I'll light a fire from underneath, and the fire will come, and everything will be good. But a miracle happened. A snake came along, bit him, and he died. He was never able to light the fire. But they danced and they prayed and whatever they could do, and nothing happened. No fire came down. Eliyahu Navi just stood there waiting patiently, at least until midday, because the Baal was the power of fire, and he knew that they would give him an excuse that the sun wasn't in its zenith yet, and because it's not in its zenith yet, it's not hot enough. You can't bring the fire. All these excuses. And all the people that were still one with Hashem, including Ali, were just looking onto these people as fools, the fools that they were. But they felt foolish. So what did they do? They went into a deeper frenzy and tried to improve it. They're doing whatever they could and praying and whatever they can. They even cut themselves and crazy. When people start to become crazy, they get even crazier. Finally, they gave up. And now it was Eliyahu Navi's turn, Elijah's turn. What did he do? He told the people to build the altar. Everybody had to get together and build it together because if they wanted a miracle to happen for them, they had to actively be involved in it. And he told them to take all the wood. They put the wood on top. And then he told them to take the wood and douse it with water. And then he built an entire trench around the altar and he filled that up with water as well. And this was, of course, to aggrandize Hashem's powers, words, and everything he did, all the requests for the miracles he did was just to make the people believe. They had to get their hearts back towards believing in Hashem. The same way when the Jewish people left Egypt, by taking a lamb and slaughtering that, the lamb was the Egyptian god, and by slaughtering that lamb, the Jewish people were in essence saying, Hashem, you are our God, and not our Egyptian masters. And the same thing had to happen over here. In order for them to get rid of the Baal, get rid of that type of worship, they had to show that they were actively involved in making a great sanctification of Hashem's name. And then finally, Eliyahu Navi prayed, and a fire came down, and not only did it consume the bull that was on there, but instantly the fire happened, no matter how waterlogged all the logs were. And the entire trench, everything was dried up, in order that this should be a wonderful sanctification of Hashem's name. So one lesson is why the miracles that were done was so that the people should strongly believe in Hashem. And of course, in the future also, when a Mashiach does come, there's going to be so many miracles that any doubt that people may have had in their life, they're immediately going to be pulled back towards Hashem. Another lesson that we learn from over here is when Elijah first met the wicked Achav again, so Achav saw him and said, "Are you the troublemaker? You're the one who, there's no rain because of you." And Elijah said to him, "I'm not the troublemaker. You're the troublemaker. You're the one that led the entire nation towards idol worship all these years. It's because of you." Now, this is very typical, because the ones that do not keep Torah, the ones that aren't Jewish, what do they say? Who do they blame? It's the Jews. The Jews did it. It's because of the Jews. Many times it is, but many times it isn't. Most times it is, but the Jews are always there to blame. And then who is it? It's the rabbis. The rabbis, they're the ones that are always causing us bad things, and they're telling us to do this, telling us to do that. And Elijah's like, "I didn't do anything. You did everything." The foolish, like it states in Proverbs, "Ivelas adam tisaf dakar." The foolish man corrupts his ways. But who is he blamed? Baal Hashem yizafli. But he blames Hashem for all his problems. Hashem says, "It's not my fault. It's your fault. You did it." The rabbis are same thing. It's not our fault. You did it. Bad things happen to us. It's because you guys are deserving of it. Don't blame the rabbi for his decrees that he makes. So we have to realize that to take ownership, we have to, it's kind of long, but it's a very long story over here, but we have to realize what it is that we do. We have to sincerely do tshuva and change our ways. Hashem is waiting for us. Hashem is actually waiting for us to do tshuva in order that he can do great miracles for us. And hopefully soon we'll be able to merit seeing Mashiach speedily in our days. Thank you for listening.